Good morning, gang. Happy Thursday morning. Okay, as the plot thickens here. How many times you heard this in your life? I got good news and I got bad news. Which do you want first? Well, that's kind of the premise to this morning. Talk of the town is tariffs, okay, and prices and shortages and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The good news, there are reports that Trump is about to announce a major U.S. trade deal and with a major country. That's a good thing. Speculation is it's with Great Britain. Okay? Honestly, how much stuff do you have in your house that says made in Great Britain? I don't own a Rolls Royce. I don't own a Jaguar, a Land Rover, anything like that. I really can't think of a whole lot of products that we buy, the U.S. public buys, that is made in Great Britain. So, while it may be good for some companies, okay, I don't know, we could talk about the pharmaceutical industry that seemed to move a lot to Ireland. There's a lot of companies that move to Ireland. So maybe there definitely will be some good things out of having a trade deal with Great Britain. Don't get me wrong. But it's not the major panacea that we're all hoping for. How is the world reflecting on this? Oh, pretty good. I think, the world seems to like it. If we take a look at the stock market this morning, Dow futures are up 350 points. S&P futures are up around 60. Seen Bitcoin? Bitcoin's pushing 100K. Okay. I'm going to give you this. When Trump announced the tariffs, Bitcoin was at 82. Okay, so the world is willing to take a little bit more risk. They're enjoying this. Bitcoin is up some 3.5% this morning since last night, right? Okay, that's a little silly. Okay, fine. If you own Bitcoin, hey, you're happy. Good. All right. Just saying. Covering everything. The downside. Well, Ford announced yesterday that they are going to be raising the prices on vehicles made in Mexico, which I think is the Maverick pickup, the Bronco, and the Mach-E, the E-Mustang, whatever the hell it's called, okay, about $2,000. Okay? I don't know if you've been in a new car lot lately, but that's not going to affect a whole lot of people, because there ain't a whole lot of people that can afford new cars. Anyway, okay, add $2,000 on, great, just makes it $2,000 more unaffordable, so I'm not buying it. But where that will hurt is, in order to have used cars, there's got to be new cars. Well, if nobody's buying the new cars, that means there's less inventory for used cars. Remember what happened during COVID when the used car market, and all of a sudden there was massive price hikes in used cars? To the point where some people were literally getting offered more than they paid for a car. You went into a car lot in, pick a month, okay, February, and paid $30,000 for a car. And in April, the same dealership is calling you back and saying, would you like to sell that car back to us? We'll give you $35,000. That was actually going on during COVID, all right? I remember taking a look at the value of my truck during COVID, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I had the thing for nearly 5 years at that point, and they were offering almost as much as I paid for it. No, I didn't sell it. Okay, I kind of need a truck. The downside is, even if I sell it to you, I still got to buy something else because I still need a vehicle. Unless you've got extra cars laying around, that's great. Okay. So that's going to hurt. And then what you also get, I'll give you this. Let me put the qualifier on there. Any of those new cars are going to be charged $2,000 more, provided they were manufactured after May 2nd. Okay, so there might still be some on the lot that are less expensive. But the big one is China. And because we all know how much stuff we get from China. Now, there's been talk all week about this meeting that is being held in Switzerland. Scott Bessent and I think Marco Rubio, or at least somebody from the State Department, is going to these meetings with the Chinese delegation. Okay. A little bit more information's coming out. And the issue is, it ain't China that asked for this meeting. Now, to give you what's going on with China, we know the Chinese economy is imploding, all right? The Chinese economy is falling apart, guys. And that, as much as we might go, yeah, good, that's also devastating to the rest of the world. Okay? A slow burn would be fine. A collapse is going to suck for everybody because they'll drag down the rest of the world economy. But it turns out the U.S. is the one that's asking for this meeting. China's not really enthralled in this. This is a quote that came out of the Chinese Ministry of Commerce. Okay? If the U.S. wishes to resolve issues through negotiation, it must face up to the severe negative impacts of its unilateral tariff measures on itself and the world, acknowledge international economic and trade rules, fairness and justice, and the rational voices of all sectors, demonstrate sincerity in negotiations, correct its wrongdoings, and work with China to resolve mutual concerns through equal consultation. If the U.S. says one thing but does another, or even attempts to use negotiations as a pretext to continue coercive and blackmailing tactics, China will never agree, nor will it sacrifice its principles or international fairness and justice to seek any agreement. Strong talk, but completely hollow. Okay, that's great that China's saying this. It just means they're going to hold firm for a while. China will eventually cave. They have no choice. Okay, like I said before many times, China's economy is pretty much dependent on selling junk to the United States. They can try to sell it around the rest of the world, but the rest of the world combined does not make up for the losses that they would take not selling to the U.S. Okay, 40% of what China sells internationally comes to the United States. The other 60% is the rest of the world. Okay, give you that. They're not going to make up the losses. The Chinese export manufacturing sector, okay, people that work in factories making stuff specifically for foreign markets, is somewhere to the tune of 16 million people. And a lot of them are finding their factories shutting down. There's no product to make. They're not doing anything. The people are taking to the streets. The people are protesting because they're not getting paid. Okay, you've had some commit suicide over this. Okay, this is what happens. When something collapses, people get freaked out. If all of a sudden you were told you're not getting paid anymore, you got laid off, you got fired, the company's we're out of business, you're going to freak out. Okay, this is the deal. If you want to talk about socialism, communism, the Chinese population lives paycheck to paycheck. Okay, they are definitely one of these societies where it's 5% rich, 95% poor, which is what the Democrats want to take us to. And these people are going, one missing paycheck, I don't eat. I can't pay for my house or my food, my car, or whatever. Not that a whole lot of them own what they have anyway, but they're basic necessities, just food. They're freaking out. How does this play out? Well, and China knows this. Remember Tiananmen Square? People protesting? Go back a couple of decades at this point. More than a couple. The people will rise up. The people will protest. And then China has a humanitarian crisis on their on their hands. This is all strong talk coming out of the Ministry of Commerce. China will eventually have to come to the bargaining table and concede some of these tariffs. No choice. But when's that going to be? Next week, next month, next fall? It'll eventually happen, sooner rather than later, but maybe not quickly. And in the meantime, we are going to be paying higher prices. And again, supply and demand, there's going to be less goods on the shelf. You're already seeing businesses starting to add on tariff charges. Okay, prices are going up on a lot of things, stuff made in China. How do you counteract this? Start getting creative in your shopping. Okay, you need to buy something. Okay, see if there's an American alternative. You might be surprised that the better quality product may cost less. Okay, or something that's made in Mexico, made in Vietnam, made in India, wherever. Take a look. You might find it. Not everything, but you might. Okay. Go look for things on Facebook Marketplace, on eBay. Okay. There's a lot of stuff there that some of it's new. Okay. Some of it's obviously collectibles and junk that people are trying to get rid of. But look there, because you might find deals, because the stuff that people are selling now didn't have the tariffs imposed on them. Okay. Yes, I get it. You're going to have to take the risk that, oh my God, it's not Temu. Okay. But take a look for stuff that is new. You'll find that, it's new in the box. Get it. Great. Okay. We should be well prepared for this. Like I said yesterday, if you've got any worries about what's in your preps, then go get it now before it gets more expensive. Get the toothbrushes or the soap or whatever. You need a new calculator. I don't know, pick something. Okay. Go get it. If you got extras, that's not a bad deal. But it's certainly going to be less expensive now than it is next month. So unless you're going, hey, I'm going to inherit a couple of $1 million, I can wait till next month before I go buy this. Go get it now. If you're in the market for a car, maybe ramp up what you're doing and go get it now, because these tariffs are going to affect more than just, oh, wow, stuff made, that we buy at Walmart. It's going to affect everything else. It's going to affect food. We talked about that the other day. We're seeing good news. An agreement with England. Hey, more power to them. Okay. But the bad news is still outweighing the good news, and our lifestyle is to prepare for the bad times. Get on it. Pinball out.